Asalamolikom, everybody. Welcome. All right, to my YouTube channel. Where are you subscribed? No, get just subscribe, and or you might not understand what we're doing today. I'm just saying. This is an open-ended question. Well, not this. I might put this in the back later. Change it. That's a video. When you're done with that video, you can understand the weathering, erosion, and deposition. And this is the article. Well, you can do it at your own pace, but we're going to go through it. Weathering and erosion, or differentiating between weathering and erosion. All right. If can be confusing. Yes, it could be confusing for some people. Let us break it down. If one does not understand the technical details leading to the two processes, weathering and erosion, are natural geological processes that act on matter on the surface of the other, like rocks and soil, causing them to move and reshape the face of the earth. Well, if weathering is the breaking up rocks into similar fragments, changing the rock size and structure, forces of nature and majority responsible for this process. Erosion, on the other hand, though, involves processes like wind, water flow, and ice movement, resulting in a change from one location to another. Weathering process and type. As the name suggests, in weathering, weather action causes the breaking of rocks into similar pieces but do not move to another location. There are three types of weathering. Let's find out. Physical weathering, where rocks may collide with each other and break or fracture due to applied pressure, or fracture due to sudden release of pressure. In some cases, water may gather into rocks cracks during the day. When the temperature drops, water solidifies. During solidification, water increases in volume and widens. Widens. The crack. Rapidly, this breaks the rock. Now you get more idea how it breaks the rock and reshape kind of way and reform in a way. Chemical. You might think it's burning or something, but in here it a little bit different. Wetting occurs when water from rainfall or running water oxygenates oxygenates rock, minerals, or dissolve them completely, leaving gaps that make the rock weak and cracked. Biological weathering, which takes place when point roots grow into rocks and crack or break the rock into similar places. All right. In erosion, natural forces sweep away broken rock pieces and settle them in another location. This action may happen by the action of the wind, water, or melting ice movement, leaving behind a different landscape while forming another landscape where the pieces settle. Erosion transports pieces of rocks and usually landscape where the pieces settle. Erosion transports pieces of rocks and usually of erosion has four usually settles them in lower altitude areas near river mouths or by the seas. The process of erosion has four major stages. Detachment, where the rocks break into smaller particles. In entrainment, where the rocks sediments mix with water, air, or melting ice. Transportation through one of the forces of nature. Deposition, which means where the particles settle. Relationship between weathering and erosion. In looking at the differences between weathering and erosion, it is imperative to understand that weathering can be chemical physical or biological, while erosion is purely the movement of sediments from one places to another. If eventually, weathering usually leads to erosion as it breaks down particles to sizes that natural forces can transport. Weathering is unstoppable, but humans since found ways to reduce erosion through my mitigation by building cabins or planting trees. Sorry if I say something because I'm reading. I'm trying my best, you know. All right, advantages of weathering and erosion. Both weathering and erosion lead to the formation of new geological features through surface reshaping. Weathering provides particles that eventually form sedimentary rocks like limestone and sandstone, plus chemical weathering helps in reducing atmospheric carbon dioxide. If weathering didn't exist, the earth would consist of bare rocks unable to support flora and fauna. Most of the fertile soils are products of weathering process. Soil erosion deposits soil rich in minerals to places that were not fertile, making them agriculturally productive. Disadvantages of weathering and erosion. Weathering is leading cause of breaking down of human-made structure like roads, bridges, and houses. Chemical weathering also results to a process called oxidation, which is responsible for rusting. Weathering and erosion may cause natural disaster through mass wasting like rock slides and mudslides that kill hundreds of people annually. The same weathering and erosion processes that are responsible for creation and deposition of fertile soils are also responsible for removing fertile soils from an area, leaving the area agriculturally crippled. Next slide. By the way, I made this.
What?
By the way, I made this for you too.
Why?
So I can teach them. This is a VR kind of way. I don't know how to put this, but I might try my best to put this. And if you guys have a VR, you can experience this if I can try to put it. And this is the example of chemical weathering and mechanical weathering.
Okay.
Examples of erosion in a picture. And if you were to do this, you guys would know how to do this. I'll go through the answers maybe in the end or in the next video so you guys can learn. And there's another video. There's a quiz, guys. If you have this quiz, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is it. This is the lesson. We went through the lesson, I guess. Kind of talking, cause yeah. And if we can watch the video together, if that's okay.
In this video, we're going to talk about weathering, erosion, and
Not working.
deposition.
I'm
Let's
gonna
begin with some
react to
simple
it too.
definitions of these three terms. So, weathering in this sense is the breaking down and changing of rocks as a result of exposure to the environment. So, if I have a large slab of granite in nature and over hundreds and thousands of years the waves of the ocean are crashing onto that rock, inevitably the rock is going to break down into smaller pieces, it might get rounded out.
I'm putting the video not to copy, just to put so we can go over and understand even more with you guys. I'm gonna pause and tell you some details too. And yes, rocks form, rivers form this, so the rocks move. And Grand Canyon I showed you is an example. If the rivers are rising, then and flowing, then the rocks would move.
In this video, we're going to talk about
Oh.
In this video, we're going to eroded, and that chunks of granite, those weathered sediments from point A to point B, that is erosion. Erosion is all about movement and transportation on the website. And we'll begin by filling in the three-part by weather, two main types of weather, breaking it into small examples of the names for it. Now, you may will actually have over many hundreds of years. Finally, add frogs of this, and where there, which is when nicely summarized on our type of weathering side, where it's on Earth. So have to look at hard water to how it by rain weathering. Okay, so what affects weathering? As the rock is
Boom. That's weathering. Weathering makes stuff move. In that video you have heard, that guy is right. Weathering makes it move from one place to another. I mean, it breaks down, and erosion makes it move with the wind. Water makes it move. Like the example of Grand Canyon, this VR that I'm going to try to upload. Oh, where is it? This VR. I'm going to try to upload in YouTube for a VR experience. This VR is a Grand Canyon VR. All right, Grand Canyon VR that I might upload for you guys. If this works, if this is not copy, this is just for a lesson. This is not to copy or anything. By the way, for now I know what is copyright. Just for good reason. And this is copyable. I heard. All right. That's it. And the weathering breaks down. So if you see any rock reshape or break down, that's because of weathering. Weathering changed our lives, changed the way we see nature, and erosion changed the way we see nature and how it was formed and moved. So on the picture, what you see, where is the picture? On the picture, you see where's the picture? Right here is the picture. You see this, right? You could have to answer these. Since weathering is something that breaks down, rocks breaks down. Erosion is moving. Wind, water, or anything that moves rocks from one place to another and makes it create different scene. Physical weathering, we can go back and learn that passage that I have seen. As you see in the passage, it says physical weathering is where may rocks collide, fracture, and each other break, applied to pressure due to sudden release of pressure. And chemical is weathering occurs when rainfall oxidize and dissolve them completely, leaving gaps to make rock crack. Biological weathering, which takes place when plant root grows into rocks and crack or break into smaller pieces. It's about this article, and natural action cause erosion. All right, this is natural force swept between them in another location. This happened by the action wind, water, or melting landscape, another landscape where the pieces sediment erosion transport pieces of rocks usually settles them in lower areas near the ports as detachment, arrangement, transportation, deposition. Name explain four major. All right, you see it here. Detachment is this where the rocks break into smaller particles. Arrangement where the rock sediments mix with water, air, ice to one of the forces of nature, which means where particles settle. All right, major differences of erosion, weathering and erosion. Well, to differentiate, I think weathering and or not that. In weathering, okay, we go here. In looking difference between weathering and erosion, it is imperative to understand weathering chemical, physical weathering is purely sediment place to place eventually weathering. Erosion is purely the movement of sediments from one place to another. Eventually, weathering usually leads to erosion as it breaks down rock particles to sizes that natural forces can transport. Weathering is unstoppable by humans have seen found ways to reduce erosion through mitigation by building cabins or planting trees. What are some advantages of weathering and erosion? All right, advantages is weathering and erosion leads to the formation of few geological features through surface reshaping. Weathering provides particles that eventually form sedimentary rocks like limestone and sandstone. Plus, chemical weathering helps in reducing atmosphere carbon dioxide and all of these others that you can see. So that's advantage. It has more advantage. It creates by breaking down, it creates and reshapes and changes form. What would be disadvantages watering and deposition? Disadvantages could be watering is the leading cause of breaking down of human-made structure like roads, bridges, and houses. Chemical
Are
watering
you just
also results
confused?
in a process called oxidation, which is responsible for rusting. Watering and erosion may cause natural
I'm just so
disaster to
confused.
mass wasting like rock slides and mudslides that kill hundreds of people annually, and others that responsible creating and all that you can see, and this is bad. So that is a disadvantage, and you guys can complete the chart and summarize. All right, to complete the chart is erosion, which is breaks down, and erosion which is flows by wind, water, and etc. Flows from one place to another, makes rocks flow from one place to another. See, erosion, on the other hand, involves processes like wind, water flow movement, resulting in a change from one place to another, and weathering, which breaks down rocks. And summarize this: weathering breaks down rocks, and weathering breaks down rocks, and erosion, on the other hand, involves processes like wind, water flow, and ice movement, resulting in from one place to another. Weathering does not move to another location, and these are the types of weathering. Er- Erosion, this action may happen action of water melting, leaving behind the different landscape while forming another landscape where the pieces settle. And these are the major stages. Relationship is that weathering and erosion, it is imperative to understand that weathering can become and biological, while erosion is purely the movement of sediment from one place to another. Eventually, while usually leads to erosion, breaks down its size, particle size forces can transport. Advantages is both weathering lead formation of new geological features through surface reshaping. Weathering provides particularly eventually sedimentary rocks like limestone and sandstone, plus chemical weathering helps in reducing atmospheric carbon dioxide and others. If you want to put, this could be okay. Disadvantages of weathering and erosion. Weathering and erosion cause breaking down of human-made structure like road, bridges, and houses. Chemical weathering also results to a process called oxidation, which is responsible for rusting. Weather and erosion may cause natural disaster through mass wasting like rock slides and mudslides that kill hundreds of people. If you want to put, you can put this, but this is okay. That's how to summarize all of this up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you guys next time. Into phase Muslim Rock What Education Center.